Hi there, Bill Hitchcock. Welcome to the program, Power Pack program. We're going to be talking about the 3 different species of flounders that we have here in North Carolina. We're going to go over in detail how to identify each and every one of them. Then we're going to go into the licenses here in North Carolina. There was a question about how many saltwater fishing licenses do we have here in North Carolina. I was in contact with the Division of Marine Fisheries. They gave me the details, all the numbers, and we're going to break that up into categories and talk about that. But what I'm really excited about, it seems to be happening every day now. I'm preparing for a show and I discover something, and this is what I discovered at the Facebook page OBX Fishing. I saw that I got to get my eyeballs, pardon me. Kyle Clayton had posted something very, very interesting. Him and his wife were up in Corolla, just beachcombing. They were looking for beach glass, and they found beach glass. And let's take a look at some of the beach glass that they found. Well, they also found something else. As you can see, they found a tag. Well, it's just up there on the beach. So they went on and listen to Kyle. He said, found this washed up in the surf this morning, and this is August 12th, by the way, a couple of weeks ago from when we're making the show. He says, found this washed up in the surf this morning in Corolla, called the phone number, and surprisingly was actually able to speak to someone. I thought it was a shark tag. The lady I spoke to said it should have been for a striped bass if it was red, but didn't think the information she was pulling up was correct and wanted me to email her some pictures of it. Blew my mind when she got back to me verifying that this tag was indeed from a striped bass tagged 30 years ago. This is from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife in Maryland. That was the telephone number where it went to. What the person said says, thank you, this is indeed our tag. According to the database that was tagged off the coast of North Carolina in 1994. It is also the old address for the office. It is just crazy how clean it is. I wonder if the storm washed it ashore. Thank you for reporting it and forwarding the information. We will send you the certificate and once we receive the order. Now, we'll go on and show you the certificate. It looks like kind of like a citation. It's just wild. This striped bass was tagged January 22nd, 1994. It was 28.17 inches long, and it says year class 1984. So in essence, 40 years later, Kyle and his wife found the striped bass tag, reported it, and obviously we wish the fish were still attached to the tag, but it's just mind-blowing, and I wanted to get that out to everybody. So when you're going beachcombing, look for stuff. Again, that was up in Corolla, and congratulations to them. Now what we're going to be doing, we're going to move forward on into flounder identification. All right, let's go on. Let's see, from the division website, why do we need to identify flounder? Well, I think we know why. One of the common themes that came up during the Marine Fisheries Commission quarterly meeting, and rightfully so, everybody that brought this up, was that the southern flounder was overfished, so they shut down the flounder fishery for the recreational flounder fishery for 2024. But we got 3 kinds. We got a summer flounder in addition to the southern flounder and a Gulf flounder. Why not leave those open and just shut off the one southern flounder? Makes sense to me. So, but they can be confusing. Just on a superficial look, they all 3 look the same. So we're going to go over the flounder identification. First, we're going to start off with, and it's really one of the keys is the ocellated spots, sometimes referred to as the eye. The first flounder we're going to talk about is the southern flounder, the most popular flounder that people go after, or most common caught in North Carolina, especially in the backwaters and the Sound and the estuarine areas. I'm a flounder creek sneaker. I'm a flounder fisherman, and this is usually the fish I would catch. They have non-ocellated spots on their body. And you're seeing a picture of them, right? Did I show you this? I'm just going so fast. Let me, in case I didn't, I want to make sure that I get up the picture of the 2 different types of ocellated and non-ocellated spots that will be on the backs of these flounders. flounders. So, and this is the best picture I can get. Southern flounder has non-ocellated spots on the body. It also talks about the upper jaw extends to beyond rear margin, and it goes into there's 63 to 74 anal fin rays, 8 to 11 gill rakers on the southern flounder. I'm just really going to talk about the spots. And this comes from the Division of Marine Fisheries. You can go to their website and pull up all of this information, all of these pictures and such. Summer flounder, commonly seen around inlets and ocean. And in estuarine waters, they do cross over, but primarily you're going to get your summer flounders in the inlets, maybe beachside, oceanside. But your southern flounder, you're going to get in the, I don't know why I'm pointing back. Well, actually, Bogue Sound's behind me. That's why I'm pointing back there. That's why you'll get the southern flounder. Commonly seen around inlets, oceans, and estuarine waters, at least 5 ocellated spots on the body. 5 prominent ocelli from pattern from the 5 side of a die. The Gulf flounder, occasionally seen, their Gulf flounders aren't seen that often. Usually in ocean waters, there's 3 prominent ocellated spots or eyes that form a triangle on the body apex towards the caudal fin. And I'm going to put up all 3 together. We showed each one individually. One thing I do want to make a comment about is, although this is picture perfect what we showed you, and so on purpose that they were showing you the 5 different spots and 3 in all. But I like to keep in mind, or just for an example, drum. Let's take a look at a big old red drum. Isn't he red? And he's got one little dot and a little spot on his tail. Well, let's look at this silvery drum. He's got a bazillion spots on him. So typically a drum has 1 spot, but as we know, they can have multiple spots. So bring that up for these flounders, that typically what we just discussed is what you will find, but it's not the dead set rule. By the way, with the drum, the red drum, he's been out in the Sound. That's why he's red. The silver red drum, he's been out in the ocean. That's why he's silver. And the main thing that I want to bring up is the waters that whatever critter is swimming in flavors it. So a red drum, obviously a big one you're not going to be able to keep. It's been flavored by the waters, like crabs, depending on what body of water, or oysters or scallops, depending on what body of water, it's flavored, that seafood. So that's why people get real persnickety or picky about where did the shrimp come from. An ocean side shrimp tastes blander than an inside water shrimp. Yeah, I know somebody's going to raise hell that I said something positive about inside shrimp. I know, I already hear it. But the waters that the critter is in flavors it, and it's a great example with those drum, with the silver one that's ocean side and the red one that's Sound side, to demonstrate that. Now, how many recreational fishermen are there? I had emailed, let me get this out of the way, the Division of Marine Fisheries. Oh, bother. Oh, there it is. Division of Marine Fisheries. And I'm putting the email up full screen. And I asked, how many, I need information about the, how many recreational fishermen there are. And this is back in August 15th. And I was sent back from Tricia Smith, the Public Information Officer with the North Carolina Division of Marine Fisheries, sent back this, and I'm putting that up full screen. It's actually an XLR. That's a TV thing. XL of the licenses going back from 2007 up to 2023. We're just going to talk about this last year, just to go over it. There are a grand total of 1,079,168 licensed saltwater fishermen in North Carolina. Now let's break that down. 10-day passes, licenses, almost 175,000. Annual licenses, a little over 267,000. And lifetime, almost 20,000 licenses. Now that's for the year. Now somebody who's doing real quick math going, wait a minute, that doesn't add up to 1,079,000. No, it doesn't. It adds up to 461,873,000. So you say, well, how do you come up with the big number? Easy. Lifetime, as the name implies, you buy it, you're done. Okay, so somebody who bought a license like in 2007 43,611 lifetime licenses were bought. In 2008, 21,140 were bought. Add those two together now. So now we've got 64,000. And so it's cumulative. Cumulative. So we add up all of the lifetime licenses. So in the year 2023, the last time they did this, there were 295,000 total lifetime licenses. So again, the grand total is 1,079,168 saltwater licenses. One caveat: this does not include exemptions. Like if you're under the age of 16, you don't need a license. If you are fishing from, like blanket licenses, from a fishing pier or from a for-hire vessel, the vessel buys a license, so you don't need one. The pier buys a license for everyone, you don't need one. So those aren't counted. Now you go, well, how many are that? Well, see, there's also crossover. You know, not everybody on a pier doesn't have a license. Not everybody on a for-hire vessel doesn't have a license. So there is crossover. And it was one a beef that I had. I went up to Raleigh and to the legislators and talked about this when they were talking about passing a saltwater recreational license. I was against it. And the reasons why, it's very obvious. The reasons why people wanted it is they wanted the money, they wanted to count the fishermen, and then they proceeded to turn right around and exclude people. So, well, that just defeats the purpose of counting the fishermen and raising the money when you exclude people. You know, I'll never forget, I really did like her, Senator Jean Preston. She's no longer with us. She represented us here in Carteret County in this district. And I'll never forget a statement. She said, we need to exclude surf fishermen because there's not that many of them. And I'm like, really? Well, she lived in Emerald Island where she lived. There weren't that many surf fishermen. I don't think she ever went to Hatteras or Ocracoke or, you know, the Outer Banks. So that was why I was against the saltwater license. Anyway, there's all that information. If you have additional information, email me, billhitchcock@mail.com, billhitchcock@mail.com, billhitchcock@mail.com. We're getting ready to, probably the next show, go over some of the emails that have been sent in. Those are, again, very clear, concise, to the point. Yes, you can post your comments at YouTube. Those are usually flaming type comments, and you know, tend to ignore those things, but go ahead. Until then, if you've got any other information that you'd like for us to discuss or show topics, email me. Until then, Bill Hitchcock.